There's a lot of equipment out there that can make it really easy to get your heart rate up. So if for you, exercise is about getting your heart rate up, getting breathing heavier, getting sweaty, and just moving in general, there's a lot of equipment out there that's relatively affordable and built for home exercise use. Welcome to the Exercise is Health podcast, where we're talking about exercise, health, and the interconnectedness of the two. We are your hosts, Charlie
and Julie,
and we will be coming to you every single week from our studio, Muscle Activation Schaumburg. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Exercise is Health podcast. We are your hosts, Charlie
and Julie,
and we are coming to you from our studio, Muscle Activation Schaumburg in Schaumburg, Illinois. Now, at Muscle Activation Schaumburg, we believe your health is your most valuable asset. Your health is one of the biggest influencers of the quality and quantity of time that you have. And while there are many aspects of health, our expertise is exercise. Exercise has been proven time and again to not only improve your health, but also increase your longevity and improve your quality of life. And we have an awesome program for you called the Virtual Membership Program, where if you're looking to figure out how to exercise on your own, we can help guide you regardless of where you're working out, whether you're working out at a gym, whether you're working out at a studio, whether you're working out at home. We can offer you guidance for that. So go to matschaumburg.com, click on the membership tab, and find out more about how to apply and enroll in our virtual membership program. Because today, what we're talking about are pros and cons of working out in different places. So a lot of times this time of year, everybody's gung-ho about exercising. Hey, the new year has come and passed. We're ready to start our resolutions. We're either joining the gym or starting our at-home workout program. Either way, most people are moving, and that's fantastic. But what we want to talk about are what are some pros and cons of working out at a gym versus working out at home. Because one of the most common questions we get is, well, what are the differences between the two? And if I work out at home, is that a replacement for working out at the gym?
Now, we're going to jump into this, but here's the thing. It's like everyone wants to always know, the answer to this question. Is working out at home as good as working out at the gym? Or, vice versa. Is working out at the gym better than working out at home? And in the end, there are pros and cons to both. Because clearly, they're both different environments. You can do different stuff at each of them. They have different time requirements and commitment requirements and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, working out anywhere is better than not working out at all. And I think we forget that all the time because we focus so much like, oh my gosh, if I'm going to work out, it better be perfect, or it better be the thing, that I'm supposed to be doing. Like there is one thing that you should be doing. There really isn't. I mean, working with people over time, I've learned even as a professional that there are some consistencies in how I can make decisions on someone's body. But in the end, if someone's moving versus not moving, that is a huge deal. So don't let all these details deter you from moving in general. I mean, if you were already thinking in your brain, because I know this is coming out in the new year, I really want to work out at home. And then we go pros and cons of home versus gym. And you realize, well, maybe I'm better suited for the gym. Well, that doesn't mean delay your home workouts. Go ahead and get started with them. And then start gradually adding in some gym stuff. Or vice versa. If you were starting the new year and you signed up for a gym membership or you found a new trainer or whatever, and you listened to this podcast and realized some of the details weren't what you thought they were, don't just stop doing what you were planning to do. Go ahead and get started. Getting started and moving and stimulating your body with exercise is more important than all the fine details. The fine details do matter at some point, but in general, moving versus not moving, exercising versus not exercising is a way bigger deal than all the tiny details that you're probably going to think of or you've thought of in the past or we're going to bring up. So just remember that. You have to exercise, and exercising versus not exercising is a huge deal.
Yeah, that's a really important point to keep in mind. And the reality is there are pros and there are cons to each. So let's start to dive into those. Let's talk about home workouts first, because home workouts are growing in popularity, whether it's live streaming, whether it's something like Peloton, whether it's, DVDs or watching workouts on YouTube. Doing them in the creature comforts of your home seems to have a lot of benefits, but there are some cons. So a lot of pros, but there are some cons as well. So we're going to start in by discussing those.
Now, when we're considering the pros and cons of home versus gym, obviously we have to consider the differences, because you technically could go to the gym and do all the stuff, that you could do at home. So we're going to be talking about the things that each of them offer that are different from each other, because as I said before, if you have dumbbells at home and you have dumbbells at the gym, you could really do the same workout. But anyways, so let's jump in. So some of the pros of home workouts is obviously there's no travel. I mean, you don't have to drive to the gym. You can work out whenever you want. There's no okay, I have to also allot 15 minutes there and 15 minutes home for my workout. So some people that are really time crunched, this is a huge deal, because they can just be at home, work out whenever they want.
Yeah, actually, this is a really big pro, because one of the most common excuses or reasons that people give us as to why they can't exercise is, well, I don't have the time. And a lot of times I think that includes not just the workout itself, but the perceived travel to and from the gym. So if you can at least cut out that aspect, well, hey, now you have saved yourself anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes of time that would be involved with your workout, where you're just at home, it doesn't take you 20 minutes to walk down your basement stairs. So, wherever you're working out, you can save that time, by working out at home. So that's a really big pro. Another pro to working out at home is the privacy that you get from not being in front of large groups of people at the gym, not being in group classes, not being in front of an entire membership base. If you feel like you are more of a private person, or the gym culture or the gym environment is very uncomfortable for you, there's a lot of benefit that can be gleaned from working out in the privacy aspect of your own home.
And I think that brings up a point that we're going to talk about in the gym side, but the privacy piece is actually really big. And I was surprised about this, because I had always worked in a gym before, we started Muscle Activation Schaumburg. A gym meaning like a big box gym, there's thousands of members, that kind of gym. And so the people that I worked with that were working out, signed up for a gym membership. So that means they decently liked being around other people, or at least they could tolerate it. And it wasn't until we started MAS here that I realized there is a large chunk of people out there that need exercise, and they're humans, which means that they would benefit from exercise. And they really, really just don't enjoy the lack of privacy that happens at the typical gym. So I didn't really realize, even myself, how important this point was until we broke off from the big gym scene, and now we have a private studio where a lot of people will come here if they don't like the big gym. But also your home would obviously provide that as well. The privacy of your own home. You're not thinking about other people seeing you, watching you. And this brings up another point that at least I hear a lot of women talk about is you can wear whatever you want. If you want to put on, Spanx and a sports bra because no one's going to see in your windows and stuff, and you want to work out, great. But sometimes when you go to a gym, a lot of people will feel like, I have to wear a certain outfit, or it has to look a certain way, or a certain brand. So a really nice pro for working out at home is that you literally can wear whatever you want, or not wear what you want. If you don't like to wear a shirt when you work out, but you feel uncomfortable other people seeing you like that, then home's a great way to do it.
Yeah, that's a really big pro, because exercise itself can be relatively uncomfortable. And if you feel like everybody's already judging you based on what you're wearing when you're exercising, well, that just makes it even more uncomfortable, socially and emotionally uncomfortable, not just physically uncomfortable. And so that makes an even greater deterrent to going and working out. So by removing that aspect of it and being able to, hey, wear whatever you want, that can make it a lot easier actually for people to consistently work out, which kind of leads us to our next pro, which working out at home is pretty much judgment free, meaning there aren't any other people there that are going to say anything or, take your picture or, videotape you without your consent or anything like any of the other stuff that you see happening at big box gyms. And with that can lead to a certain comfort level, again, socially, emotionally, that will make working out a more consistent long-term thing for people.
And the next thing that the home workouts are really, really nice for is that if you get really distracted socially, home workouts is a great way to overcome that. I remember personally, you guys know I'm pretty social. And when I used to be a trainer at a gym and I would, put my headphones on, change my clothes, clearly I was the one working out. I remember my workouts being dragged on and on and on and on and on because everyone would come and talk to me. I knew every single person in the gym and they knew I was working out and, oh, she must be off the clock, so we should go talk to her. And so I remember feeling, geez, like all my rests are like 5 minutes long because I have to have a conversation. So if you are finding that you are really socially distracted, well, then a home workout could be really great because no one can come talk to you or interrupt you, whether it's salespeople, whether it's your friends, whether it's your group fitness instructor coming to talk to you, whatever. If you get distracted socially by other people, home workouts can help you stay focused because you won't have that distraction of others around you.
And then finally, the last benefit that we want to bring up for home workouts is there's a lot of equipment out there that can make it really easy to get your heart rate up. So if for you, exercise is about getting your heart rate up, getting breathing heavier, getting sweaty, and just moving in general, there's a lot of equipment out there that's relatively affordable and built for home exercise use, whether that's treadmills, stationary bikes, ellipticals, or even some resistance training stations, something like the Bowflex or band stations or TRX cables. Or TRX straps, rather. All those things can make it really easy to get your heart rate up, and they're, relatively speaking, fairly affordable options for exercising. So if for you, all you're thinking about for exercise is, man, I need to get my heart rate up today, well, working out at home can be an awesome option for that. I know over Christmas, we were at my parents' house, and my parents have kind of a workout area, a gym in their basement. And, it doesn't have a ton of weight machines, but what it has is a lot of ways to get your heart rate up, whether, it was a rower, there was a treadmill, like I say, some suspension straps, some light dumbbells and kettlebells. We brought a jump rope. And so I was finding that every day, I would add in some kind of body weight strength training stuff. But it was really good for kind of doing some circuit training, cardiovascular based work. And it was a lot of fun kind of mixing up like that. I don't know that I could train exclusively every single day like that, which is going to kind of lead us into some of the cons of at-home training. But for the few days that were there, I thought it was an awesome alternative to more the really slow focused resistance training that I typically do when we're at home here at MAS.
So let's jump into the cons or the limitations of home workouts. As Charlie mentioned, if your idea of working out is all about getting your heart rate up, that should lead you to think, well, what other ideas could there be, right? If you are a listener of the Exercise is Health podcast, you know that we consistently talk about the benefits of weight training and why and what that provides for the human body and the muscles and the joints. And one really great way to get specificity with your resistance training is with machine use. And something that is very limited at your home gym, and every home gym that I've ever seen, is less equipment. So it's more streamlined, there's less equipment. And the con isn't actually that there's less equipment, but the con is that you don't get what the equipment provides, right? And the thing that the fitness equipment provides is multiple and varying opportunities to the body. So at home, a huge limitation is the amount of equipment that you have. A lot of times we see like this all-in-one equipment. We see a lot of cardio equipment. We see a lot of free weights and kettlebells and bands. And because of those limits, those really do not and cannot provide a extremely well-rounded resistance training workout consistently. So the gym provides that, and it just provides so much more opportunity for your resistance training workouts that can be beneficial, not only for like the muscle building that we often think of, but for function, which is what Charlie and I see a lot. People coming in here to work on their body's ability to function. And so the machines are huge for that. So for that, there's a big con for those home workouts because of the limited machines that we often see in home gyms.
Where there tends to be some confusion about this is the ideas of an exercise that involves a certain muscle versus an exercise that is specifically for a certain muscle or a group of muscles. And the difference between that is, say, for example, the involvement of the trunk musculature during like a back squat. Okay. Yes, the trunk muscles are involved in order to maintain the position of your spine while you're doing a back squat, but doing a back squat is not for building the strength of your trunk. There's a lot of other exercises that are going to be far more effective at building the strength of your trunk. And, whether that's, weighted crunches or weighted back extensions or side bends or trunk rotations or what have you. The point is, so often we get the idea that, because there are the whole bunch of muscles are involved in doing this exercise, it must mean that this exercise is for those group of muscles. And that's really not the case. And so because of that, a lot of the specificity of the workout is lost. And when the specificity is lost, ultimately the results are lost. So another con that we want to bring up is just the less specificity that can be used or that can be attained during at-home workouts. And because the challenges are less specific to certain groups of muscles, that means that the results that those groups of muscles will get will be less, which means the overall function of those groups of muscles will be less.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point because I actually hear this all the time. And one of my good friends, she's a big exercises health podcast listener, so I'm going to call her out. But she always tells me, Julie, I run and I do the stairs and I do squats. And all three of those are full leg workouts. So that means I do not need to do any other leg exercises because all three of those include my whole leg for all of them. Does that make sense? So here's the problem though, and I think a lot of us think that way, like, I bike and I run. What else would I possibly need to do with my legs? Well, these are very general exercises for the legs, meaning not very specific. So again, with the machines and the lack of specificity, you're just not getting as specific results. And so, of course, this really boils down to, is that even important to you, with your fitness? But the home workouts are very limited in their ability to create specificity due to lack of machines and lack of other opportunities that a gym can provide.
The other thing with the lack of equipment, which leads us to our next con, is it requires an immense amount of both creativity and intelligence in order to be able to appropriately challenge all the tissues of your body, all the muscles of your body. And not just, the key word is appropriately. So not just challenge them, remember, not just doing an exercise that uses those muscles, but doing an exercise that appropriately challenges those muscles. And that takes a lot of, like I said, creativity and a lot of intelligence to be able to do that with just body weight or just bands or just dumbbells or, just the things that typically you have at home when you're doing an at-home workout. Without the use of machines or the equipment that gyms provide, it becomes far more difficult in order to do that.
The last con that we're going to bring up with the home workouts is really the lack of accountability. You are holding yourself accountable unless, someone else in your household is holding you accountable or you reach out to someone else and actually get that accountability. Because you're alone, which can be a pro, and it's very private, which can also be a pro, and, you're in your own space, which could be a pro. A big con with that is that no one is actually seeing you do the exercise. So the accountability that is required by you goes way up. And that can be a con because That's why a lot of people hire trainers. They need accountability. But you have to make sure you're actually doing the exercises and doing your workouts, because people forget that like you actually have to do the workouts to get the benefits. So make sure you keep yourself accountable if you are going to be doing home workouts, because the accountability factor is super high on yourself, and that can be a con if that is something that you struggle with.
Now, moving on to gyms, working out at gyms, and some pros of that. Well, if there's very little equipment at home, there tends to be a lot of equipment at gyms. And same idea as with home, if little equipment meant less opportunity, lots of equipment means lots of opportunity at gyms. And lots of opportunity for what? Lots of opportunity to get really specific with the challenges that you're placing upon your body and upon your muscles. And remember, the more specific the challenge to your muscles, the better the results you will get by challenging those muscles and by doing the workouts. So ultimately, the more opportunity to be really specific means the more opportunity to get really good results. And this is one of the things that gyms offer.
The next thing that gyms offer, which you probably know about, is professional guidance. There are trainers that work at gyms. There's also group fitness instructors that work at gyms. And so often, a gym can be a really confusing place. Workouts can be confusing, how to do an exercise, how to set up something, what to go, where to go. And obviously, there are different levels of professionals working in the fitness industry, but in the end, there are professionals working at a gym. And so it is really nice that that guidance is available to you. And I do want to encourage you to utilize that guidance if you need to. It's better to be getting input from someone that has experience, has been around the equipment, knows the space really well, than for you to potentially be maybe intimidated by something and not do it, or be confused about something so you don't do it, or anything like that. So use that professional guidance at the gym. It is there for a reason. Or use professional guidance like people at MAS or, our colleagues across the nation. So it doesn't even have to be at your gym, but sometimes you can find people that are willing to help guide you even when you're at your own gym, something like our virtual membership program or something like that.
Now, another one of the pros of gyms was also pro of the at-home workouts. And that's the idea that the pro of the gym is that it's a relatively separate space from your home. So this is kind of the similar idea to kind of doing your work at home versus going to the office. And some people are able to work at home just fine, whereas other people need a separate space from all the distractions at home in order to get their work done. Well, same goes for your workouts, okay? If you find that you have, little kid toys everywhere, or that, the phone's constantly ringing, or you're always going to put the at-home obligations first while you're at home versus getting your workout in, well, being able to leave that at-home space and go to a gym and be completely separate from all that can be super beneficial in helping you to not only be consistent with your workouts, but make sure that you're able to get them in time and time again.
The next thing is gym costs money. This can be a pro because I don't know about you, but when I pay for stuff, I'm going to use it. So I know there are a lot of people out there that pay for gym memberships and don't go. But if you're in the mindset like I am, if I'm going to pay for something, I am going to use the opportunities that I have signed up for. So if paying for something helps you be accountable, helps you show up, helps you be consistent, helps you continue to exercise, then pay for a gym membership. Same with the professional guidance. Sometimes with just paying for someone, it allows you and in your mind almost obligates you to participate. And feeling obligated to exercise, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. It's only going to help you be healthier.
Now, the last pro that we want to bring up for gyms is that there's often more social support that is offered at gyms, whether it's group fitness classes, whether it's seeing people there, or whether it's just the staff members that are at the gym, the trainers or the people that are working the front desk, the different managers at the gym. Seeing those people and having them be part of your support team can be super beneficial in making sure that you stay consistent with your workouts.
So on to the limitations or the cons of a gym. Let's be real. You don't have a full-blown big box gym at your house. That means you're having to travel there. So travel could be a potential con for you. I know, for example, my sister, she has 3 little kids at home. And so traveling to a gym is a big deal. It means she has to, put everyone in the van and get everyone in their car seats and then drop them off at the daycare at the gym and then work out and then pick up everyone at the daycare, so time traveling there can be a big deal. So if you are like the ultra crunch person, you have no time, and just the fact of traveling to the gym is going to prohibit you from even going to the gym. The gym might not be the right fit for you, because that will kill the bottom line. And remember, the bottom line is always, we want you moving rather than not moving.
Another con of the gym actually goes right along with one of the pros of the gym, and that is the gym can often be less private. So while less privacy may mean more social support in some situations, it also means there's a certain kind of gym etiquette that is involved with going to a gym, whether it's how you're dressing, whether it's how you're acting while you're at the gym, the rules and regulations of the gym. And so less privacy of the gym may again be somewhat intimidating, maybe somewhat socially and emotionally uncomfortable for people, which can be a deterrent for them to get your workout in. And if the goal just flat out is to get your workout in, well, we want to make sure there are as few deterrents as possible.
Yeah, and this one really leads to the next point, which is every gym has a culture. And so you have to make sure that that culture goes along with your, either you're able to block it out or you agree with it and it goes along with your, motive for being at the gym. The culture is kind of like how people act and behave and participate in the gym when they're at the gym. I know that's kind of weird to think about, but have you ever walked into a gym and you get this immediate feel, whether it's like, whoa, this place is swanky. Like, I've got to make sure I get my shake after and wear my Lululemon when I'm here and take a shower and go in the sauna and, make sure I have those big chunky headphones. That's what everyone does when they're here. All that kind of stuff. That is all the culture. It's like how people behave and operate when they're there. And sometimes you walk into a gym and it reeks like the rubber floors and everyone's grunting and wearing ripped up t-shirts and it's kind of dark and dusty in there and everyone's putting like powder junk all over their hands. That's a different kind of culture. And there are other gyms where it just looks cheap. It smells bad, it's cheap, and everyone's just kind of regular type people and whatever. They're just there to, so here's the thing. Every gym has its own culture. It's really important that you find the gym that you can either really agree with and feel like, yeah, this is motivating for me. I can jive with this, or you're able to block it out, or else it becomes a huge distraction and it becomes a reason that you don't show up. I have to be honest, the big reason that I don't go to most gyms is because of the culture. And being an exercise professional and studying mechanics for so long, it's pretty easy for me to figure out how to use all the different styles of machines, brands, and all the different setups. And I feel very comfortable in doing exercises, but I just hate the feel of some gyms, and I just will refuse to go into some gyms because of the culture. So a con of gyms is that they all have a culture, and you're going to have to work through figuring out what culture is right for you.
Now, the last con that we're going to bring up, and this was another pro of the gym as well, so it can work both ways, is the financial cost of having a membership to the gym. Now, gym memberships can range in all sorts of ways, from less than $10 a month to well over $100 a month, based on what the gym offers, who the gym's through. If it's through like your local park district, you can probably get it pretty affordable gym membership versus more of a private club and everything that the private club offers. So the financial cost, if that's a concern to you, obviously that will be a con when it comes to joining a gym and working out at a gym. However, having that extra financial cost may make you feel more obligated to go and get your workout in, because you're paying for it every month, so you need to be using it. So that point can definitely work both ways, both as a pro and as a con as well.
So we went over a lot of pros and cons. What's the gym good for? What's home good for? What's home not good for? And what's the gym not good for? And remember, you have to always keep this in mind. If you are exercising, you are doing much better for your body and for your health than if you are not exercising. So please keep that in mind. But we did want to review something kind of big that, well, not kind of big, really big, that is often not considered when thinking about home versus gym workouts. And I'll start with the home one, where the home workouts are really quite good if you're already really healthy and you just want to increase your activity and increase your movement during the day, right? You're not like trying to train for something specific. You're not struggling with joint issues. You're not having problems when you exercise. You just want to move a little bit more. Home workouts are a really nice way to fill that void and to really add to your health because it's so convenient. And this is also really great if you also don't really, like if going to the gym isn't like a pleasurable thing for you, you could probably get everything that you need for right now at home, which is cool. But you want to make sure that you're still, again, being accountable to yourself. You're actually doing it. And you do want to really keep in mind, especially over time, that you are starting to add in some of the things that a gym could offer, because the big thing is, and if you listen back on our podcast, is we want you doing specific exercises for your body's function, meaning like your body's muscles, your body's joints, because this is what's going to keep your body strong and young and active as you age. So if right now home workouts are the way you need to go, fine, because remember, it's better to do it than to not do it. But we still need you getting some of those health benefits, especially like functionality benefits that the gym provides you. And that'll lead us to our next point on the huge benefit of a gym.
Right. And the biggest benefit of the gym, again, is the increased opportunity to create really specific challenges for your body. And the greater the specificity of the challenge, the greater the results of the challenge. So flat out, if you go consistently, you're going to get way better results than you will working out at home, just because the opportunity to create specific challenges is so much higher at the gym. So if you have any kind of function issues, if you have any kind of aches or pains going on, and you're cleared for regular exercise, so they're not like pathological aches and pains. If you feel like, hey, your body is not operating as well as you would like it to operate, whether that's from a strength perspective, whether that's from a metabolism perspective, from a cardiovascular perspective, if anything in your body is not at the level that you want it to be at, going to a gym will create such greater benefit for you than working out at home, because again of the increased opportunity for the specificity of the challenge, okay? And the specificity of the challenge is what determines the results of the challenge or the results of your workout. So that's a really, really important take home when it comes to deciding whether or not to work out at home or work out at the gym. If you feel like your body is functioning well, everything's pretty good, and you're just kind of wanting to maintain and just look for a way to be more active, at-home workouts can be fantastic for you. But if you're wanting to really improve your body, if there's anything that you feel is not functioning well, going to the gym is a way to go, because the results, the opportunity to get results is going to be so much higher at the gym than it will be at home because of the increased specificity that the gym offers.
I do want to just reiterate that again, because this is huge. So many of us think like able-bodied people, meaning people that are totally healthy, can do all the things, should be the ones at the gym. And we actually view it to be quite opposite, because the gym, with all of its specificity and all of its equipment and all of its different opportunities that it really has an amazing opportunity to serve those of us that might be struggling with something function-wise, like joint aches and pains and things like that. The unfortunate piece is that the gym doesn't often market to those of us that have to improve function. They're often marketing to those of us that are already fully functional, can go crazy hard and do all the crazy junk. But really, the gym is amazing for helping people return to function, whether that is, a joint ache or pain, or a muscle symptom they're feeling, or a limitation in motion. We just have to be, strategic, which is what the gym can provide to us, in how we apply exercise. And that is a huge piece of the gym it's a huge piece that is provided by the gym that we don't often utilize. So make sure that if you are feeling like, wow, I'm very limited, that you do go to the gym and you do use these machines and you do work all your different muscle groups, because this is what will allow your body to return to function.
Now, at Muscle Activation Schaumburg, we focus and specialize on improving the function of people's bodies through exercise. So we focus on the benefits that the gym provides, while also including many of the benefits that the at-home work provides in terms of the privacy, in terms of the non-judgmental space to work out in terms of the kind of intimate environment, and just the overall lack of typical gym culture. So if you are wanting a place to work out that's not your home, but doesn't have all the negative things that can often be associated with gyms, finding a private studio like Muscle Activation Schaumburg or something else in your area can be a wonderful alternative. But here's the thing, not every place will be able to offer the guidance and the support that we are at MAS. So if you are wanting that kind of guidance and support that we offer at MAS while working out on your own, this is why we created our virtual membership program. So if you go to matschaumburg.com and click on the membership tab, you can apply to enroll in our virtual membership program. What we do is we create exercise programs for you based on your body's needs and limitations. There's a whole assessment process that you go through, and then we create the exercises for you based on the results of that assessment, based on what's going to be appropriate for your body, what your body can tolerate, and what goals you want to get to in what timeline. So go check that out. If you're wanting some guidance with your exercise, you want to have the privacy of working out at home, but you need the guidance that we might offer at MAS, check out our virtual membership program. That could be an awesome option for you.
We also want to tell you about a brand new summit that Charlie and I are putting together. It is called the Schaumburg Health Summit, and you, yes, you are invited. It will be happening on May 18th at the Fairfield Inn and Suites here in Schaumburg, Illinois. And the Schaumburg Health Summit, our goal is to create an interactive and a place where we can, as community members, hear from leading health professionals on new and coming ideas in the health field. So we will be having different speakers. You will also have the opportunity to speak to these speakers on the breaks. There will also be a ton of sponsors there. So if you are interested in attending this summit and hearing from a plethora of different health professionals, make sure you purchase your tickets. It will be from 9 to 2 on May 18th. You can go to www.schaumburghealthsummit.com to get your tickets. And right now, we currently have our early bird special going on, so you can get a nice discount. You will also get breakfast and lunch. We will keep you fueled. Don't you worry. Also, we have a few speaker spots left and a few sponsorship spots left. So if you know of anyone that would like to share some of their ideas, they do need to be a health professional because we want them giving good information. We don't want to be giving out some funky stuff. Or if you know someone that would like to promote their health business to health-minded individuals that will be attending this event, we'd love to get connected to them. And you can email us at info@matschaumburg.com.
Well, thank you so much for listening. We always appreciate it. What questions do you have about this episode? Email us at info@matschaumburg.com, and we will be sure to answer them during our last episode of the month, which is the Q&A episode. And while you're online, if you wouldn't mind, head on over to iTunes, leave us a rating and review so people that need to find this episode can find it. Who needs to hear this information, and who do you know that's debating whether or not they should work out at home or work out at the gym? Feel free to share this episode with them. It would mean the world to us. Have a fantastic week, and we'll talk with you all next week.